Right, now there's noise. There should be that way.
Live.
Woo woo! Live on the Tinters 2021.
Happy New Year, because it's that first week where everyone says Happy New Year repeatedly.
All the
Oh
time.
no, that lasts until you're confident that you've met everyone
That
for
lasts
the first
until
time
New
in
Year's Eve, I
2021.
thought.
It's December 38th, isn't it? Still 2020.
Jesus.
It's the 13th month.
Our lass is just licking him off. Take that as you will.
Phrasing.
Niall's in.
Now,
Hey.
finally.
I thought I'd gone deaf.
I like going through my notebook sometimes because I just find pages like that. Just got.
Alright. Sure.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. It's my work notebook as well.
200 bits straight. Jesus
Straight
Christ.
in.
He's got a reroll.
Right. Let's do this.
AD, you can pay me for the chocolate with a reroll.
I thought, alright.
2 rerolls.
Yeah, 2 rerolls.
So, welcome to the Heavyweight Gaming channel. We are a channel that plays lots of RPGs, loads of them, all the time. We had quite a hectic December, so the schedule was all over the place. And then we had a bit of time off over Christmas, New Year, but now we're here in 2021.
We're back, baby.
We're back! Gene's cursed his dice for another year, and he's going to fly everything into every asteroid he could possibly find.
Right. 2020 is all about Gene learning how to fly.
Yeah.
2021.
That's the character arc we've all waited for.
Yeah.
I've written pages and pages.
Subquest.
Gene gets his wings.
So, welcome to the channel. Go through a few things. First, we got our beautiful sponsors that are Dragon Turtle Games. They are the creators of Carbon 2185. They did a Kickstarter at the end of last year for Terminal Overdrive, which was a what's the word? A new rule book.
Resounding success.
It was a very, very, very successful Kickstarter. But yeah, Terminal Overdrive is a level 1 to 10 campaign in the Carbon 2185 rules world. It is wonderful. I can't wait for it to hit us so we can start playing it. They are also prepping to do Solarpunk, so check that out on Facebook. Go to Dragon Turtle Games and their Solarpunk page if you're into Solarpunk. They're doing that as well.
I didn't even know Solarpunk was a thing.
I don't even know what solar punk is.
It's the opposite to Cyberpunk, so it's a utopian instead of a dystopian future.
Oh, right.
So Demolition Man.
Oh, I know how to knit.
Yeah. So
And do we find out what the 3 shells are and how we use them?
that's a fair
Use
point.
3 shells. Oh my god.
Brilliant.
Top Gun.
So
It's going to be a
yes.
Top Gun arc, Rob. We're going to need some homoerotic volleyball scenes, which we can definitely get James involved in.
What?
I'm all over that.
That's a given, sure.
I only high five Top Gun style.
I no idea what just happened. But
Let's have all the well up tops outside. The outdoor episode.
So yeah, check out Dragon Turtle Games for non-homoerotic high fives. But
I'll
yeah,
leave it.
well, there might be some. You'll have to write it in. Anyway, check them out. They're great. They're amazing. They sponsor us. If you go to their web store and buy stuff, you can get 10% off your purchases if you use the code WAITE, W-A-I-T-E. So that is lovely. We have lots of other people that sponsor the show. Sawdust and Swear Words, Ruffworx Creative, Blink Dog Dice, Bardic Inspiration, Loki Battle Mats, Coyote Grey. Oh, Coyote Grey is a chibi artist who does tokens on Roll20 who was doing a Cyberpunk set. So as soon as they are out, I'll be using them in my carbon games because I love chibis. We use Sirenscape for all our ambient music. It is wonderful. It has got a hell of a lot of sounds, musical shorts on it that you can use for scary woods or boisterous taverns, etc. and scary organ music playing if you're visiting a vampire up the road with a machine gun. So check out Sirenscape. They're really cool. If you want to find us on social media, you can. I'm running out of social medias to put us on, so just type in social media into Google, followed by Heavyweight Gaming. You'll probably find us. It's a fact. You can't disprove me. We've got a Discord channel, as you can see there. Please join us. We talk absolute rubbish on there and about the things we've got coming out. So if you want to come and find out what we're doing, join Discord. We have a Patreon page that is currently around It's currently rammed. Family emergencies. It's currently rammed with 5th edition compatible lore about our fantasy world that we play our RPGs in on a Tuesday and a Saturday. So if you wish to throw a couple of dollars/pounds at the Patreon page, we will gladly take that moolah and put it into artwork and such for the magazine. And we're looking to branch off and do other cyberpunky stuff, Pathfinder stuff, and 1 or 2 other singular projects that are coming in this year. Will you lot stop talking? Alright?
I think you're talking to us.
Trying to be famous. Can't be famous. Shut up, Whammer. It's bedtime for you anyway. There's a good chance that this professional streamer's got kids and decided to let them stay up like an absolute idiot. Right. What did I miss? Rerolls. If you 200 bits at this episode, this lot get a free reroll. They can't use it on the DM's rolls. They can't carry them over. They can't use them on death saving throws. They can only have 5 at one time. 2?
That's how many we got at the moment.
All right, and they've got 2 at the moment. So thank you very much for those. 2. Who'll give you the second one?
You did.
You.
Oh, just for chocolate. Damn, I got done.
Yeah.
Hang on, just for chocolate. A bag full of chocolate. This is full of chocolate for you.
That's fair. That's fair.
It might go down. You know, if your rolls are really good and we start getting injured, the chocolate levels may go down.
I have new dice for tonight.
Oh God.
My Bardic Inspiration Mountain dice, which
There's 7 Easter eggs in there.
there's only 21s on the dice, so that's a bit weird. I'm joking. There you go. Don't know if he says that mountain dice. They're really cool. Bardic Inspiration. Go check them out. Right.
I like it that Nightbot is even advertising to help save us now as well.
Nightbot is also saying how good the moderators are on the channel.
I do have good mods. I do have good mods.
So
Right.
it's almost like one of the mods went out of his way to add loads of commands so he doesn't have to keep copying and pasting stuff.
It's genius. Makes sense. Work smarter, not harder.
If only you could do it with audio so that when he actually mentions like a word, then it just Nightbots it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that shit hooked up to Alexa, man.
AI.
Oh, no, they're awesome. So, like, I've been watching a few streamers where, like, when someone subs, like, a little icon just comes up and says something. It's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
does.
little GIF.
It does on ours, but I turned the GIF off.
It took up too much time and too much away from AD, so therefore he turned it off.
Fair enough.
I don't want it's gravy time popping up and then some little GIF. You know what I mean? I want people to remember the gravy time.
Why don't you do a face, like, yourself saying it's gravy time? Your voice.
It is my voice.
No, but drinking it as drinking gravy as you're saying gravy time. That might be impressive.
If you want some private shows, let me know, Lauren, and we'll sort it out. For more chocolate. Hang on. Yeah. What?
Having any of your sweets?
You what, mate?
Are you having any of them?
I am. Please, go sit there, dude. Sam, go sit there, please. You can hug, you little attention-seeking muppet.
Oh,
Don't know where you get it from,
Sam.
Don't know where you get it from, eh? Little spotlight hogger. My computer. Right, so we're going to have a recap. The players, we'll go around the players first. We have James playing Alex, aka 413X, the troublemaker. We got Larry playing the Marine, aka Rob. I might have done that a bit wrong.
Larry's the
We
Marine.
got
Rob is a Marine who plays Larry, a little model artist painter, and sometimes IT sales rep.
we got Dave
Where do I
playing
begin and the character start?
Philip F1L1P, aka combat hacker, but not that sort of hacker. We've got the Lauren playing Ewan, the smuggler.
Ian.
And we've got the ever stunning Nathan playing Jinjan John, the combat medic, who definitely is that sort of medic.
Right.
Oh, how's your space gonorrhea?
It's alright, thanks. I didn't think we were going to bring that up on the stream that much.
John's.
Alright, John's alright. Right.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Right, recap. Someone's got space gonorrhea. These lovely bunch of cyberpunks come together over a very delicate set of pathways where back on Earth in San Francisco they were doing a job for the Sons of Chaos. This has led them to unify as an unbreakable unit of cyberpunks, bent on earning their millions, quite literally, one long at a time. At points they've been in negative, I would assume, the damage they've done. After doing a bit of a run around and doing some work for the Crown Estate, they have made their way to Mars, to a facility that belongs to the Nightingale Exploration Corporation, or at least did, and was allegedly abandoned, but permission was given to the Crown Estate to send a group to enter it and retrieve some assets. This facility is within the largest mountain on Mars, known as Olympus Mons. It is a dormant volcano. Once in there, after meeting the wonderful Yitten pack, they made their way. They had a bit of a fight. There was a very brief, there was a moment of PvP over a couple of episodes. Yeah, that's right, John. You look away, lad. They've got their way to the facility. Once in the facility, they noticed that it had been torn apart, or at least the doors in had been forced open. The guards on the outside had had their nanites ripped from them. No weapons had been taken, no other sign of any other weapon used to kill these guards. Once inside, they had a very similar scene before them as the facility appeared empty. In fact, we'll have a little map somewhere that I can put up for people to see. Maybe. There you go. On entering, you decided to do a quick bit of bust open these doors and see what's looted. And you managed to find some of the armoury that was left behind and have acquired it for yourselves. You also discovered more dead people. Will I go away? 2 seconds. Yeah, that's what I wanted rid of, sorry. Checking out the security cameras, you managed to scope out most of the bottom floor, and getting together decided to fuck it and go and have a look. You knocked a few doors down, you politely opened a few doors, and you discovered that there was this facility has been doing some sort of genetic engineering or bioengineering or splicing nanite merges with humanoids and such. There is quite a lot of experimentation being going on. You are currently on the trail, or on the heels of a young boy you believe to be known as Kane, who is the son of Jean's friend Ryan.
Which I'm still not showing anyone.
No.
Correct.
That you have a friend called Ryan, or that you just have a friend?
Column A, tomato, potato. So there is a theory that the young boy Kane is some sort of advanced combat hacker of sorts, able to manipulate nanites beyond the level of most, or psychic powers, and the testing that was done here was to discover which was closer to the truth. They also stumbled across a area that is dedicated to, it seems, the creation of very large synths, all with the name followed by a number of chase, resembling their friend from their original adventures, Chase. You've decided to take to the bottom floor of the facility, going down these stairs in search of what you believe to be kin. And I believe going down the stairs is where we left it, did we not?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the marching order for you lot going down this single file stairs?
I am not at the front.
Was I at the front stealthing?
Well volunteered.
I can't remember. It just seems like it might be the upright idea.
I think it was either yourself or me.
Yeah.
That seems sensible. It seems very out of character for us.
So who's first?
Do you want to Rochambeau for it?
It's single file, so I need to know who's first.
Sure, but it'll probably take more than the knight to come over and kick me in the balls. So I don't know how that's going to work. So
Okay,
how about I'll just ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Fuck it, I'll go first.
All right.
Wow.
Did we actually just play rock paper scissors over Zoom? Did that just?
That was
That did just happen, yeah.
the
And Lauren
nerdiest
cheated,
thing.
but there we go.
This
No, it wasn't rock, paper, scissors. It was cyber rock, paper, scissors.
it was
Nano rock, paper.
nano scissors,
Ace a sword, yeah?
Rock parchment shears.
mono edge, nano.
Mono edge,
Forget it. Right. So Alex is first. What are you two doing? Weird charades. That is it, Ian.
Yeah, I'll go second.
Who's after Ian?
I'll hang the back.
That's not why I asked. But who's after Ian?
Who's third?
I'll go. Okay, yeah, I'll go fourth then.
Brilliant. I love that. Who's at the front? I'm at the back. Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Hey,
That's kind of how we roll.
don't judge my methodology.
Not that you lot have been a... this is session 21, by the way. But not that you lot have had a following, but a shower tail's come on and gone, has Shane blown himself up yet?
Our reputation precedes us.
Have you seen the new exclamation mark John command that's in
I
the chat
have.
as well?
It is awesome.
Beautiful.
Nathan
Is
is
John command
constantly out of bubblegum, so that works perfectly.
I'm here to crash jets and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. Should have said I'm all out of jets. That would have been... Anyway.
Oh.
So...
At least I'm
We need to
channeling
start getting our own
Roddy
little character emojis for the chat.
So as you
With
go...
sunglasses.
As you're heading down, who... I think all of you can now see in the dark, can you not? With your various equipment.
Got a torch.
Okay.
How did you...
I can see.
So you two can see, I know Larry can. Jean, do you have kit that you can see, or are you and Philip in the same boat?
I do. I have an enhanced hood, and that is it.
So no.
Then no.
I've got a
Seems to be a very deafening silence.
I do have a torch.
Alright, so you do have a means to light your way if necessary.
As a point of note, Mr. DM,
50
can
foot
I
rope.
be can I be looking up, like, the behind us, basically watching behind us?
Oh yeah, yep. So Alex and Ewan at the front, can you give me perception checks as you want? These stairs seem to be... Well, you can see in the dark for at least 60 foot, and when you lean over and look down, you can see your full extent, and they are still going. And they spiral downwards. They do seem to be fixed to the stony wall. It doesn't... 14, Alex?
24.
Cool. So, you notice that, like I said, the stairs go down and down. What you notice, Alex, is where the stairs, as they spiral and meet the stony exterior, or interior, you know what I mean, and they're bolted in, that there is a very, very small beetle-like creature at every point that they are bolted to the wall. Maybe every 10 feet of coming down the spiral staircase.
Are these beetles alive?
Yeah, they look a bit like a stag beetle, just not as big.
Do I know anything about them, or are they indigenous to Mars?
Eat one.
I'm not going to eat one.
Okay.
I would say no. Give me a sec. No, you have no idea. Other than beetles, they do look like beetles that you've seen on Earth. They just look like a small stag beetle.
In full military-esque style,
Grenade!
413 actual. Hold up the arm, wait for everyone to bump into the back of it, and then turn round and indicate for the unit known as Pack to look at these beetles.
As you were all stopped, you Alex points out the beetles, and you do indeed see a small stag-like looking beetle at the joint, where the bolt is into the stone of the mountain. The only thing that appears to be artificial here is the staircase. the walls around it, it's not a smooth surface as you're going down. It looks like they dug down and then put a staircase in. And these beetles have got a rustic red colour to them.
Oh my gosh, she just got like
Do you want
They
me to
look-
look at them or what?
They look natural.
They
Sorry.
do. They do look natural. And what did you say, you?
Well, I was asking, did you want me to, like, did he just indicated them to me, like, do you want me to have a closer look at them or something? Just look
This,
at
un- this unit has no idea what these indigenous insectoids are.
Neither do you, Lauren.
However, this unit has noted that they are on each of the adjoining bolts for the staircase to adjoin to the cavern.
Well, it looks like the wall is not really a wall, so it's probably would have lived down here anyway, so I think they're just bugs.
This unit is not entirely sure that they aren't eating the adjoining bolts and fixtures for the staircase.
Oh. Do you want to have a look closer then?
This unit will cover down the staircase while the unit known as Pack investigates them.
Teflon shoulders there, mate.
I'm just indicating how many rerolls you've still got.
Here's the book.
There's a beetle. Send somebody else in.
Like, oh, there's a spider in the corner of the room. You can't go get it for me.
Pack,
Yeah, if it was a spider,
I'm
nah, I'm
fine.
not there
Small
for it.
stag beetle, nah.
you'll probably find there are no spiders in my campaign that James is in.
Good.
Yeah, I'll have a look at them then.
But there is an 8-legged. Yeah, so you're
Man, that
leaning
famous
close.
superhero.
It was actually.
Not in. Two of them are nano legs.
Ah!
Give me a. Just give me an
Yeah,
intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Lovely. And that is. Oh, straight intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's unholy.
Unholy. So yeah, so as you lean in a bit closer, they kind of react. There's one or two on each adjoining fixture to the stony walls, and it does seem that 413X was accurate. They seem to be eating the, or at least nibbling very, very, very slowly the metalwork as it adjoins the wall. I mean, I'm not talking chunks. They are about an inch big, each of them. And they're just slow munching on those bolts.
Anyone got any salt?
Personality-wise or inventory-wise?
Don't need your saltiness right now, unless you
No.
can put it on your bolts.
Fresh out.
That's fair. No. Then I don't think they're going to eat through the bolts that quickly.
Yeah,
but
your intelligence check. You are quite confident that it will take a long time for these
Yeah.
things. I mean, these
Yeah.
fixings are solid, but they are clearly eating away at them.
Yeah, 413X. I think we're good for now, but if you're really worried, just crunch them under your boot.
413X carries on down the staircase.
Okay.
Cool. So, as forever going down at the staircase, again, your 60 feet of vision is seeing that it goes deep. There is clearly a almost mine shaft feel to the length of this staircase going down. They must have dug real deep, or this is a natural chute that they've applied their staircase to. But either way, it's deep. And I'm saying, so I reckon about 20 minutes passes and you are still going down this staircase. It is cold. The air is so cold it feels wet at moments on your face, but when you touch, there is no moisture. It's just that icy bite to it every now and then it warms ever so slightly. And then the deeper.
Does this passage as we're passing, does it look like it's been carved the whole way down, or is it natural passage that they have just...
natural that they bolted a staircase into.
Is it lava formed?
No.
Okay.
I told you it's time to go to bed. Say the next day.
So,
Okay.
after this 20 minutes passes, there is noise ahead of you that is like a, you know, when a machine sounds like it's got a rumbling stomach. You just get that clanking of metal where things are just settling or just being turned off after a long time and it's kind of shutting down. You can hear those sort of clanks of machinery and metal as if they've been powered down. You to bed? Good night, Dud.
Right.
Night, guys.
Good night.
The
I'm off now,
Cyberpunk
right?
Center night. Right, motherfuckers,
Nano-
let's
it
do
was-
this.
It was Nano Night.
Oh, Nanites. Nanites. Nanites?
Oh
Nanites.
dear God, I'm leaving for real now. I'm done. We'll go back to fantasy.
We found Rob's limit.
That was months ago, man. I've just pushed through.
All right, we'll carry on down. There's still nothing more really to do other than listening to the noise in it.
Want to stealth a bit there?
Would you like to be stealthy?
This unit is always stealthy. As I pick up the dice and roll a
Who
one.
said this unit never told me they were being stealthy?
I'm going to be stealthy too.
The rest of you? Well,
This unit is a master of stealth. This unit is always stealth.
no need to roll. It's the one roll in session 1 and then stealth all the way through.
Carries on.
Are the rest of you stealthing with, or are you letting them two go ahead?
Well, I'm next in line, aren't I? So I'm just going to stand there. I'll let them go ahead. I'll sort of point my torch at the floor instead of just being like, there.
There they are.
On the staircase.
I'm just helping you see where the next step is.
So, Alex, what did you get?
23.
And Ewan?
I got 21.
21. So as you two tiptoe away down the stairs, and Alex does a strange gesture and is responded with facial expressions. Greatest assassins that ever lived. You potter off several feet ahead of the trio behind you. You walk for about a minute or two, and you can hear the groaning of this machinery fade away. The groaning completely stopped. The stairs start to level out so they're not spiraling anymore. They're going down, but in a straighter design. And you do notice that if you were to look back, that the tube or the chute or the tunnel, as it were, that you've come down, just is like a bit like a slide. It'll come down and curve out, and the staircase has spiraled down and followed it. 30 or 40 seconds later, you can see ahead of you that the stairs sort of hit a small metal platform, and ahead of you is a very, very large, almost generator looking type machine that is in the middle of this huge room. There are blinking emergency lights that must be off some sort of power source down here and not wired to the same one that's running the facility upstairs. But there is enough ambient light that you are confident your friends with the torches could see enough to defend themselves if attacked by aliens. But this generator is enormous, large enough to run several small facilities. It takes up most of this room. The room here is a cave. It's not a walled made room. They've taken advantage of the space this cave gives them. And there are floor tiles that have been put there to allow people to walk around in a more comfortable state.
The floor tiles have dust on them, and is there any sign that dust has been disturbed recently?
When you get down there, you can have a look.
I'll use my internal comms to contact Pack. Unit known as Pack. I believe there is enough ambient light within this corridor that the other units will not require any further torchlight. Should they wish to progress down here, I will remain on Overwatch if you wish to relay back to them.
Should we check for maybe any traps? Because I always think tiled rooms might be a bit dodgy, especially in caverns.
This unit does not intend to go any further than its current position.
Okay, well, I'll pop up. Do you want to do a quick check, just a visual?
This unit can do a visual check.
Cool. I'll pop back up and with the boys and relay the information about the room.
Okay. Pack returns to you three and tells you exactly that. Are you just following down to reach Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start walking back down.
Cool. Alex, I'm assuming you just rolled a perception check?
I did, yes, 19.
Cool. Looking around, other than the 15-foot high, probably 10-foot wide generator, there doesn't appear to be anything that stands out other than the piping that runs from it. And the piping is laid on the surface. It's not dug underneath, and they run it. It runs under the platform you're on, and into the stonework, and then further back away from you, out the back of the generator, to a back wall that has kind of half been used for its surfaces to apply data screens and probably the workings and main control panel for the generator, but then the rest of it is the cave wall, and there is a single door that is hanging on one hinge next to it that you just see blink into sight every now and then as the emergency lighting pulses.
But otherwise, there's no movement in here.
There does not appear to be any movement apart from a gentle door. Yeah.
Are there any of those stag beetles? Sorry.
You see no beetles down here. They seem to have only been on the bolt where the fixings of the staircase to the shaft stone wall was. Once you get down here, you can't see any of them at least.
So these floor tiles, is there a layer of dust on them? Does it look like they've been disturbed?
Other than by 4 and 3x.
Who hasn't moved from his position?
There is elements of dust on them, like a reddish dust, but you're not surprised because of the mountain you're in and such. It's darker than the surface, but still has a reddish hue to it, and the lights pulse. As for disturbed, there is the footprints on them that you can see are disjointed in that if a average size human was to walk across these floor tiles, you'd expect the gaps between the steps to be of an even-esque, but these seem to be a bit sporadic, as if someone was playing hopscotch or was jumping from tile to tile, or just was a very strange height and walked differently.
Traps!
I'm just saying, I didn't gloat about the bugs, so you can't gloat about the traps.
What were you gloating about the bugs about?
I wasn't gloating about the
Couldn't
bugs.
doesn't mean can't.
It means I took the moral high ground.
I'm going to check for traps.
Gonna check for traps.
That's a D&D term, not a cyberpunk term.
I'm going to check for cyber traps.
Brilliant. Give me an investigation check, Pack. Are you specifically trying to determine if the floor tiles are linked to a trap of some sort?
Yes.
Okay.
And general traps in the room if there's any.
Yeah.
That is unholy.
Unholy. The floor tiles.
Sorry.
The floor tiles are fixed to the floor, like they've been bolted. You can see at the corners they've been driven in with quite a hefty industrial bolt to keep them in place. On some of them, you can feel because they're only done at the four corners where there's a bit of bend in the metal, you can feel a draft beneath them, as if they're covering a hole of sorts. These tiles are about 3 or 4 foot by 3 or 4 foot, and they've been placed in certain areas. Looking around, you now notice that the traps. You now notice that the tiles are not patterned; they're sporadic around the room. Checking a few more, you'll feel that same draft. You come to the conclusion that they're not trapped, but are covering hazards that would probably cause one to fall.
So, lads, see the random footprints? I think we need to follow that so we don't fall through the floor. Essentially.
The footprints are the size of a small child.
Or the kid could be playing hopscotch, who knows? But they seem to get past on those tiles, so that might be the way to go.
Look at the size of the footprints, and then at my size 12s. Looks sad.
I'll like tentatively put my foot on one of the tiles over a hazard, just so that it doesn't have a footprint on, but kind of like
Never
in that.
saw you, Jean again.
Roll a d20.
There. 17.
It lights up blue.
It lights up blue. What's the emergency lighting like around here?
It's a bluish tinge, but a real pale blue, almost white blue.
Is that the same as the emergency lighting?
It's darker than what tile that you stood on.
Right, okay.
Kind of want to throw an EMP at the big generator.
The generator is currently off, other than the odd clank of internal components. It doesn't seem to be running. You'd expect it to be very loud down here if it was.
Alright, I'm going to tap my foot on one of the ones which has got a footprint.
You can roll the d20.
Just straight.
Just straight d20.
14.
It glows green.
So follow the footprints.
I'm gonna go and have a look at the generator.
Bing bong, bing 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 bong bong.
Okay.
See if I'm gonna basically look for its. Effectively, I'm gonna be looking for its control panel to see whether or not I can see if it's been.
So
if it is functional.
the control
been turned
panel
on.
that you notice, you follow like the cable, and it's not on the generator itself. It's on that back wall that Alex saw earlier.
Okay.
Near the unhinged door, as it were. Give me a engineering check.
That'll be a 10.
Cool.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, you see the first reroll of the evening.
Any of you lot
Well,
proficient in engineering?
I've got a plus, but I'm not.
No, proficient. I need the little
I'm
black
okay.
dot.
Does Larry come across the sort of person who can do engineering?
None of us are that kind of engineer.
So no. All right. So yeah, it's a generator. It looks slightly more robust than some of the generators you've seen back on Earth.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing stands out. But the control
Is there-
panel's on the back one.
Is there an on button?
That you could probably work out how to turn it on. It seems a lot more. What's the word?
Simplistic? Intuitive?
Simplistic and
Big
almost
red
like
button.
archaic. There doesn't seem to be an electrical digital element to it. It seems a bit more old school.
Analog.
Analog, there you go.
Should we turn this thing on?
I'm going to make sure I'm not stood on
Backing
the,
up. I'm
on
backing
the
up.
panels and then go, go turn it on.
This unit does not recommend such an action.
Okay.
Gonna turn it on, isn't he?
It might light the way ahead of us if it goes dark again.
Well, you have a
You got a
torch.
torch.
You have a path that we can see right now to get through safely. That is a variable that I don't want
Half
to.
of us don't need light. You're the only one who can.
Yeah.
Use your torch. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Watch where you're standing.
Unit known as Pack, do you wish me to carry on?
I will
taking
point
control?
out you can get to the door without touching a tile.
Oh,
It's like these. Literally, it's a cave floor, and sporadically these tiles are around. It's not like the only way across is tiles. This is not Indiana Jones.
that was probably the way to unlock the door, and the door's already unlocked.
The door is
door's
currently off
hanging
its
off the hinge.
hinges.
Yeah, so let's just go.
Not a
Door.
bad idea if we need to lock it.
Once again,
I'll
the door
get
is
I'll get the
hanging on
torch
its
out.
hinge.
Point it through the door.
The torch.
Yeah. Point the light through the door.
As you point the light through the door, it looks like in the immediate stretch through that there's either been the start of works or a testing of adding metallic sheets to the tunneling that is ahead of you, and then up ahead you can see where your torchlight at the extent of its beam. You can see that it's natural again, but in this immediate like straight through the door, they've either started or tested applying, like making it a bit more secure and a bit nicer to look at if you're into sheet metal.
And who isn't?
413X will carry on down the corridor.
Was the staircase? Did the staircase just stop, or did it continue?
The staircase spiraled down like a slide, spiraled down,
Yeah.
and then flattened out to as you'd expect, a straighter staircase to a metal platform, and that platform was maybe 6 inches from the cave floor.
Yeah.
It just opened up.
It didn't like. It wasn't like this was a midpoint and we could keep going down.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool.
But you've been walking you've gone down a staircase for nearly half an hour.
So we're probably about a mile down then.
You are a good distance down. Yeah.
Okay.
So the corridor ahead of you through the single door wouldn't be able to stand a breadth with Larry, but maybe if you were slightly smaller you could get a breadth, but it's about 1.5 wide people. So if you were to try and do anything adjacent to each other, it would be a disadvantage.
Or they could be colour.
Or that. So same marching order?
I think so.
Cool. The lighting down here, maybe every 40 feet, is this pulsing white blue light. Again, it's very dim, it's not overwhelming, it's just enough to remind a person that, you know, they're walking ahead and it is safe to do so, in theory.
I'll keep my torch pointed down as opposed to over Alex's head and highlighting everybody.
Be stealthing.
This unit never stops stealthing.
Same.
Ever. So, as you two are pottering along and the other three crunching along, give me perception checks. In fact, all of you give me perception checks, unless you two have run off ahead.
21.
11.
26 with a holy.
It's a strong 9.
Is it? Is it, Larry?
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that.
29.
15.
No, it's just a 9.
15. So across the 5 of you, you are able to hear and not necessarily see, but there is a head in the darkness / glowing white blue light. You hear whimpering noise, but it doesn't sound like a youthful whimpering. It sounds like an adult whimpering. And every now and then the white blue light highlights the silhouette of a ship right on the edge of the lights, like so close to being completely visible and then disappearing. But it's quite a large humanoid ship, not one you'd expect of a young child if that was what you would believe to be ahead of you.
I'll whisper back to
Small
John.
little voice at the back of my head that just says, "Unleash every bomb you've got into this room."
I'll whisper back to John, who was just like, did we account for all those hench mother kippers upstairs? Or was there a bed without one in?
There was a bed without one in,
There wasn't.
but we suspect that a child was being used in that, was in some way connected to that one. But it could be another one.
I'm
Cool.
gonna draw my gun.
Same.
This unit has never not had its gun in its
Never not
hand.
stealthed, never not had his gun in his hand, and he's always chewing
Dungeon
bubblegum.
crawl, gun, stealth.
I'll bring the shotgun around. Like, clip the torch onto it.
Nice.
Tape it on.
I was wondering
It's a
how long.
magnetic torch.
Kaboom! Nano magnets. I was waiting how long
Gene.
Gene could carry on his style it out moment until he was like, actually, I'm getting the gun out.
Did you say the ambient light in here was enough for people that don't need torches? Or do we still need torches?
It is enough that you would be safe underfoot to walk, run, etc. But every time it pulses out, it obviously goes really dark. But it's only for a second, 2 at the most.
just a quick one, DM.
Yep.
Based on like previous knowledge of doing it, how long does it take to bio-register to a weapon?
I think it's a short rest.
Because when we picked up ones that have never been done before, because when we picked up the weapons from the armory, the 2 shotguns immediately registered to me and Sean.
Because they were special.
Well, the grenade launcher in that hall, I'm assuming, is the same special, is it?
No, the grenade launcher needs you to attune, i.e. bio-lock. Give me a sec. I actually think it's quite a lengthy process.
This is good to know
12 long
now,
rests.
than in about 5 minutes when I go, I'm just gonna... Oh no.
Throw it at him.
I literally have video evidence of you saying, I'm not going to attune to it just yet.
Yeah, because no, we picked up the shotgun and it immediately did it, so I assumed all of them would immediately do it.
Assumptions. The mother
yeah,
of all
well.
kippers.
Indeed.
So, bio-locked.
There's the shotguns and he doing boop, boop, boop. Happy go, light game on.
Any firearms manufactured. I don't actually know if there's a time limit on it.
I couldn't find one, which is why I asked you directly, because I didn't know if they were all the same. Like, we picked up the shotguns, they just went cool, registered. Because they were like, what? They were clean, weren't they? They weren't pre-registered, it was like a first time.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend time looking. They registered here.
Like Judge Dredd gun.
Yeah, boom,
Yeah.
they're registered. You're in.
I'm not registering it, if I know it's immediate, I still won't have it registered.
If you do it in combat, it'll be an action.
Okay, fine, that's what I
Alright.
wanted to know. Cool.
What's my date of birth?
He's going to ask me for that as well, because it's my BC.
I've got his age, I ain't got a DOB.
Yeah. So, you all pull out weapons in a calm, collective way, not scared of what's ahead of you in the slightest. And what do you do?
So you said the bulk looks
Brilliant.
larger than.
It looks more adult-sized.
Is that including us with dark vision? That's what we see, because obviously you mentioned in the extents of the
with
flashing
dark
light.
vision, it's like a shadow on a shadow. So you see it more shapely to fit that of a humanoid, but still unable to determine detail. But you do see it clearer. It's more like a silhouette upon a less darker shadow. So you still get that split, but it's still kind of in it. If that
So
makes
does
sense.
it look like one of the chasers?
It looks like a silhouette, like almost a featureless,
All right.
shadowy entity. But this is, you've seen technology of a similar sort anyway, back in the day.
Cool. I'll take a few more steps forward to get closer to it. Take a shooting stance, raise my submachine gun, and then announce myself to it.
As soon as the ambient light is gone, it's gone. So you see it in that moment, but as soon as the ambient light pulses, it's not there. As if moved away.
Cool.
Even to the extent of your
Dark vision.
yeah. In fact, for Alex, because of your 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
give me a robotics check.
Whilst they're moving down this
17. You are aware of certain stealthing technologies that are based on the old Tyrannosaurus Rex. When they're moving, you can't see them.
Oh, we had this before, I remember now, with the camera where the shadow moved across to the staircase.
Yes.
whilst they're moving down this corridor all stealthy like, I'm gonna not get any closer because I'm next in line. I'm not gonna get any closer than like 20 yards. So I'm always gonna be about 20 yards behind them. And then obviously Jean and Larry behind me.
So 60 feet, yeah?
So no, 20 yards behind.
Yeah, a yard's 3 feet, mate. So 60 feet.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I'm just going to kind of, I'm just going to whisper to Phil, do you mind if I go forward a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
I'll kind of catch up a little bit more with Alex and
Unit known as Pan.
Dylan.
Okay, mate.
What armaments are you currently using?
I've got a Kasai Corporation rifle.
Understood. Please take a crouch position against the left-hand wall while I move down the right-hand wall to cover down the corridor while I move forward.
Yes, I shall.
And then the unit will advance.
Agreed.
So, as these two salt and pepper pot it down the corridor, what are Larry and Jean doing? Philip's decided to move 60 feet away from the party.
Safety check.
I'm passing Philip and catching up with 413X and Yun.
So Yun is pretty much next to you now, and Alex is about 20 feet up the corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're keeping a relative, like,
I told
yeah.
you to just hold,
Yeah.
like,
I'll stay with Philip staying in the corridor or isn't entering the room. I'll kind of.
We're moving down, just at a slight distance
Yes.
behind everyone else.
I want to be at least 20. Sorry, I want to be at least 30 feet away from the rabble at the bottom.
Okay.
Me and Larry will both be.
120 feet.
A tactically cautious spacing is what it is.
If they're there, we'll be like here.
Staggered
Do
formation.
Go on, John.
I'll say to Alex and Yun, do we think this is him?
it's something that we need to be wary of, so we need to be careful.
This unit is unsure. The level of stealth technology that the other unit is deploying is difficult to register on sensors.
Have we thought about just saying hello?
But we can't see where they've gone to, so...
This unit is just taking precautions while we're moving down a very direct, succinct firing line.
I'll take the torch back off and I'll deliberately. What I'm basically do with my torch is kind of hold it down so it's behind you, and I'll stay behind you and Alex. But basically, move my gun back around so it's kind of over my shoulder, and I'm clearly not carrying a weapon. Basically.
Okay. But it's within reach to put it in someone's
Yeah, I mean,
face.
I could swing it around if I had to, but it's more like I'm not armed right now, sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
And I'll keep pace with them. Sorry.
Because me and Alex, we're kind of doing that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
essentially Jean will be with one of you each time you zigzag.
Well, I'll let them do that in front, and I'll kind of stay in the middle of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and just kind of stay behind them as they're going forward.
So the width of the tunnel makes that at moments you come obviously quite close as you're passing, but you do it comfortably enough with your experiences, and that you are able to manoeuvre down this tunnel. You do feel twists and turns to it, but they're only slight as you are making your way slowly. You only see the ambient glow happen 2 or 3 more times ahead of you before you are aware that it will be dark. So you've got about 80 feet in front of you where the emergency lighting is pulsing. You and Alex, with your night vision, you can see that it does end in light, and you go full night vision. Like there's no light source to aid you otherwise. You don't see the humanoid shape again.
Yeah.
But you do hear it, or you hear something ahead of you by about, at a guess, 40 feet. And every now and then you see it clearly stop, and you see that silhouette of shadow on shadow, and then as it moves, it just, like a glitch on your night vision, is no longer.
But it's not making
visible.
any other noise. It's like it's stopping and waiting for us to catch up when we're. at the
It's
pepper
doing
bottom.
similar to what you're doing, in that it is moving forwards. It's not looking back your way, or it doesn't appear that way. The way it's shaped and moving, it's going forward, stopping, going forward, stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hunting something.
Is that where the noise was coming from?
Yes, it's,
This unit believes it was where the noise is coming from. This unit can see it just at the extent of its vision.
You don't believe the whimpering of the adult is coming from it. You believe it's coming from further ahead, or at least the way the sound.
Echoes.
Yeah.
So this thing is stalking the thing that's whimpering, I reckon. Should we carry on as is, Alex?
We can do, however, the other units will not be able to see without the use of torches and light.
Shall we tell them to hang back? I've got a spare torch I can give them if needs be.
I believe that all of them possess a light source of some requirement. If they can give us at least a space of about 40 feet, and then move up slowly after that.
I'll whisper to them both softly and say, why have we not drawn its attention?
Because it seems to be stalking whatever's whimpering. Do we want to draw attention to ourselves if it seems to be on the hunt for something?
Again, this unit will point out that we are in a direct firing line.
We're kind of
Any
exposed here.
Any shots that come down the corridor are going to hit other allies in the back.
Seeing that these three have stopped, I'm assuming me and Larry would have caught up with them and gone, why have we stopped? So we can get involved in this
I
conversation.
can see. And I've
Well,
also
if you weren't 60 feet away.
I can completely see in pitch black as if it's daylight, it's not even low light. I've got perfect vision down here. So can I see anything that'd be called for concern? Can you see anything in the room?
You see what they see. You see a silhouette on shadow, but you see a more pronounced.
A slightly more resolution, vague shadow.
Yeah, almost.
HD
The
vague
Sharper
shadow.
vague shadow.
It's not.
No res.
It is exactly that. You're seeing it. You're seeing a piece of tech in front of you. What they're seeing is they're trying to see it with their tech. And
Look organic. Is it hard edges and
give me a
angular?
perception check.
Sleek.
In response to Philip,
13.
this unit is
Hard to tell,
spotted
but
some creature ahead of us that seems to be stalking further down the corridor. So we're progressively making our way after it.
I'll
However,
whisper. I'm sorry.
We don't wish to start any form of engagement, as the firing lines would just cut across the numbers in front of us if we all attempted to shoot at the same time. It's better if we get to wherever this corridor ends, and if it opens up, then we can fan out properly. There is also a whimpering noise coming from ahead of us that seems to be that of an adult male.
Would we be grouped up like this? I'll whisper to A13X.
We should not. However, you've currently stopped here to inquire of questions. Myself and Ewan will be going forward
I'll nudge.
in a further pepper pot motioning, and
I'll
then
nudge.
if you can carry on after us at about 40 feet distance.
I'll nudge Philip
You
and
go,
kind of
come
point
over.
left. And just kind of start. I've moved 15, 20 feet, kind of hugging the wall, just so we're away from everyone else, away from Jean and Alex and Ewan.
We packed. Why do you all
Because I
struggle?
want to. We're trying, damn it, we're trying.
But trying!
He's
The
very
Northerners are trying
Alex
to
is fine.
diversify, and it ain't working.
It's
And the-
yeah,
and the
as in
southerner.
yeah, mate, and
Yeah, and
toi.
that's why I can't get it.
We have 22 letters in our alphabet. Like, we're starting from the back foot.
And these are posh
Is
Northerners.
anyone else having
Speak the
problems
Welsh
with the Twitch
alphabet,
feed?
mate.
Yeah, Twitch keeps
a little bit. It keeps on
resetting, yeah.
I've only got the chat open on full screen, but no one's really posted much in there now.
No.
Yeah, same one.
Well, the Twitch feed keeps crashing for me.
Give me this.
Twitch what?
The Twitch feed continues to crash for me. It just goes to a point this content's not available, and then
Yeah, I'm getting that as well.
Like, I'm not getting any rewards today.
It's Twitch having a,
I'm just having a
Big
look
Twitch.
now.
I think Twitch is having a moment.
They don't
Telling
appear.
Twitch.
They don't appear to be having issues, but I'll keep an eye on it.
I'm
Okay.
so close to being able to name an NPC.
So you're all keeping yourselves close to the wall. You're pepper potting.
Well, Jean was in the middle, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, Jean's in the middle.
I'm
As I
walking in the
understood it,
middle
we're all
with a
kind of in the
torch
doorway.
We're in the corridor, man. There's no doorway. And I'm in the middle with a torch.
doesn't
Basically,
the room open out
Yeah, you
No,
lot,
no.
you lot have gone through the door and down the corridor and are following after this thing.
We're like 300 foot away from that room we were in. before.
Larry's still in room with generator going. "Where the fuck is
Oh
everyone?"
God.
Side quest, mate. We'll do your side quest. It'll be fine.
I'm still trying to work
Larry
out
and the
what
disco floor.
I'm just there with a single like 10mm wrench, just like
Dong, dong. You are down. Oh, in fact, Larry, that generator reminds you of the engines and their mechanisms and the old school combustion engines that the Sons of Chaos use on their motorbikes. That sort of tech. It's old school. I forgot you were a Son of Chaos. So yeah, you were actually like a good 250, 300 foot away from that room down this stony corridor, mate.
Sure.
In
There
the
is a-
dark.
I can see. You're in the
Dark.
There is no such thing for me.
Not seen dark in years. So yeah,
I'm going to do a really
It's
bad
really
Bane
hard to
impression
fall
there, but I'll
asleep
leave
at
it out.
night.
yeah.
Even when he closes his eyes, you can still see everything.
Yes. Damn it.
So you are hugging the walls to keep yourself, which should still be a legit tactic, Larry. To yourself and Philip, Alex and and Un are making their way pepper potting, and Jean is middle-esque of the corridor, looking harmless with a shotgun on his back.
A torch.
A torch on his chest.
Torch on his
An
chest.
18-year-old with his first pint, he's got it in his hand, but he looks a bit uncertain with it, not sure what to do with it.
Oh, trust me, I'm well versed in how to use the shotgun.
No, we meant the torch and the pint. But all right.
What's there anything about shotgun?
So what are you doing?
I think me and Alex are pepper potting further down. Stealthy,
Yep.
stealthy.
Keep going until either the corridor opens up or a change of circumstance occurs.
We basically stagger like pepper potting up the corridor, don't you?
Yeah, and you guys are stuck 40 foot behind us.
Every now and
should
again, can I just glance behind me and just make sure nothing's creeping on the corridor?
Give me a perception check.
If ever I wanted to roll well, this is the one to roll well on, yeah?
You got 2 rerolls.
It's a strong 8.
Reroll.
I'm not blowing a reroll on a perception check.
There.
Not with this HP.
That's the competitive gamer coming out with him there.
Are you still allowed to use rerolls on death saving throws?
No.
No.
Awkward.
Yeah, it
I'm
all
try and heal
looks,
and roll a 1 or something stupid. That's
it all looks safe, Larry.
Okay.
So as you are moving along, you do your 40 feet ahead of them. The hunter, you lose. It's not that you've lost track of them. Well, it is in that you know they're moving, therefore your tech is unable to pick them up. So they're clearly moving ahead, and they've moved into the darkness where the emergency lighting finishes. So there is clearly more to the tunnel. How much of it you can see until you, from where you are, you can see that it is a wider tunnel, but there does seem to be offshoots to it. But whatever it is, it's disappeared from your vision, including yours, Larry. So it's beyond 60 feet. But the emergency lighting finishes around about now for those behind you.
Carry on down and try and sweep and clear the offshoot corridors as best we can.
Love that. There's offshoots that are crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe. I believe in you, A13X.
I believe.
Or 13X.
As you head towards that particular area where you see these offshoots, where the offshoots are, like how they formed, the wall and rock is thinner, like it's been chipped away at, and they look like. Give me an intelligence check, Alex.
Boom. 19.
Oh, nice. It looks honeycombed. The offshoots have a honeycomb, like almost ant's nest type insect feel to the way they burrowed up diagonally. Some burrowed down, some are short, some are longer. But they it just feels
Feels very Starship Troopers right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favourite film in the world or anything like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good.
I can rewatch it like
Where
every
is the button where I can click to know more?
It's back with the generator, mate. That you didn't turn on.
It's in that proficiency, engineering proficiency box none of us had.
Sean cannot turn the button off if you disable his hand.
Bug Planet.
Best reference in 21 episodes.
The enemy cannot push the button. I fucking love it. Carry on.
Great film. The
This
book's really good as well.
unit has noted that the offshoot corridors are much in the same way as a Earth-based ant colony seem to have worked in the past. Or for a flashback to a war that happened before the 20th century. Sorry, 21st century. The Viet Cong tunnels.
So, do we split up?
Well,
This
you
unit-
guys aren't with us at the minute.
This unit does
I'm-
not believe so. This
I'm
unit
right
would,
behind you.
This unit would suggest we still carry on down the main corridor.
I thought we asked you to be 40 feet back.
Oh, Sean doesn't listen to instructions. How long have you played and watched this game?
Sean's literally like, yeah.
I got
40
real
feet,
meta real quick, innit?
Tapping her on the shoulder.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure Nathan listens to instructions.
And Nathan missed that. Otherwise, Jean might have listened to instructions, so apologies.
I thought like after we had that bit of
Well-oiled special forces team, boys and girls.
One soldier.
Hey, I'm a soldier.
I mean, but if you
For a
stop, though,
Marine.
if you guys have stopped, John's going to catch up with you pretty quick. I mean, it's 40 foot.
Yeah, but throat mic or natural talking, since it's nanotechnology.
Plus, I'm still behind Alex. I haven't moved forward yet because we're doing the pepper pot. So if he stopped, I wouldn't have moved forward. So then, you know.
So I'd
It
still
doesn't
be
matter.
asking. I mean, I've not said it out loud, but I will for Eddie's benefit. I'm not being particularly stealthy, no matter how stealthy you guys have been, right? I'm not being particularly quiet or whispery unless I say so.
So while you
Go on,
two
say
are
cut.
ninja-like, Sean walks up to 431X.
What's going on? Wait, you just passed, like you
Hey guys, look, what's this? Echo!
I'm just calling you harding him.
So let's just assume that you are able to talk to one another and relay information.
It's not like we have comms or anything.
Oh no, wait, we do, except Larry.
Except the big one.
Harry's fine. He's at the back.
Except your,
He's just got this walkie-talkie that he turns on and off every time.
your rear guard.
Tell if it's fine.
Philip's my walkie-talkie.
He didn't spring for the earpiece part either. It's just literally on loudspeaker or nothing.
It's like Zach Morris's old phone from Saved by the Bell. Like,
Blue tack to my harness. Just
Saved by the Bell. Jesus Christ, Lauren. Anyway, what are you doing? What are you doing?
413X is going to carry on down the main corridor. If anyone queries it, he's just going to carry on down the main corridor and respond to the answer with, we should continue down the widest egress point rather than attempting to offshoot.
okay, we keep doing the thing.
Yep.
I mean, as we go past the corridor, as we go past each of these offshoots, John's going to shine the torch down, have a look.
Come an investigation check.
Only so much you can do with the tools that you're given. Sometimes those tools need to go in the bin.
He doesn't seem coming. I reckon I can knock him out.
Yeah, so as I come up on
Tried this last time, it didn't work.
the
Right.
left-hand side, are there any offshoots on the left-hand wall?
Yep.
I check them as I go past as well.
Cool. Give me an investigation check.
That is 18.
What did you get, John?
I mean, don't feel
That flashy light syndrome.
No, he stepped by the one that Alex was looking at. He's not with me.
17.
Okay, so what you both notice is at the depth of some of these, like some of them are maybe only 3 feet short, like into the ground or the wall or whatever it is. Others maybe go 6, 10, some 15. Some actually disappear out of sight and like curve away as if they're longer tunnelings. But using your night vision, you see odd odd colorations in some of the rock deeper into these. So say the particular one you're looking at the moment is about 4 foot deep, big enough for you to crawl in, but not necessarily walk. And there is a strange coloration on the furthest point of it away, so the 4 foot away from you on the rock. But your night vision goggles are not giving you a crystal clear. It's just a odd coloration, almost like there's a smear on the lens, but you can see it. It's from the wall. With Jean, every time your torch goes around, yours is about 6 foot to 7 foot deep, and a bit higher. That if you could pretty much squat walk through it, which would hurt like a bastard, but you could anyway. And your torch light glints of something shiny.
Down the right.
Down in one of these offshoots that you're currently looking down.
Shiny like metal or shiny like gems? Jewels,
Gems.
crystals? Okay.
At my one, I've got a torch, so I'm just going to quickly have a shine to see if I can see what that kind of smudge is.
Do you get closer to it, or?
No, just kind of look, because how far in is the smudge?
About just short of 4 feet on the back. This offshoot is literally 4 foot long. Like if you laid down, you'd be in it. It doesn't veer off anywhere.
I'm just gonna have a look in and like shine my torch down there just to see what it is.
You see a selection of a cluster, of gemstone of a orangey red colouring, more closer to red, with some sort of silver movement within. Is probably the best way of describing it.
Turn that off, and I just relay like, oh, there's some weird ass gemstones in these offshoots. It looks like there's something wiggling in it. Anyone else seen anything like this?
Yeah.
Have a look.
You have a look, Larry. You can clearly see gemstones with something in them.
Yeah. I think.
This is weird.
I think
Yeah.
we're in a inactive volcano.
An old mine, maybe?
Oh, it's definitely an old mine. Or these might be larval sacs or something, like a crystalline larval sac if there's something wiggling in it.
Any of you? You're a doctor, John. You know what this is.
Do you have a closer look?
Not that
Not that kind of doctor.
Do you have a
I
closer
want a
look?
T-shirt that just says "not that kind of hacker" on it. Like, I would wear that shit.
It's not that kind of ...
I'll go and have a close look at the one that Johan is investigating rather than
Oh, I'm
going
Johan
up that
now.
way.
You are now Johan, yeah. Give me a technology roll.
I help him.
With
That's very
advantage.
nice.
I refuse the advantage.
I'm going to take it as disadvantage because you're not going to listen to her.
It's a flat technology roll.
Wait, yeah, technology.
Yeah.
With advantage. Because
Well, I don't need the advantage. 24.
Jesus.
That's a crit.
For some reason, John gives you a D20. You've no idea why. He just wraps it up and says, "Keep it." You know? Whatever it is moving inside this reddish orange stone is nanites. It is like there is. Imagine a very, very small, almost tadpole serpent made up of nanites in.
Like a chest burster, but instead of being this big, it's like this big.
Far away.
I mean, it is tiny, maybe 1.5 inches long, but it is definitely made up of millions of nanites rather than a single entity
The nanites sound like they're parasites.
inside the gemstone.
Parasites, yay!
Didn't Jean get one of those earlier?
Yeah, which he's treating with more parasites.
Nah, but you got an happy ending, so it's alright. So what are you doing? That's what you see, John, or what you know it to be. You're 100%.
And this is still attached to the wall, right?
It's in, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say to him, it's nanites.
413X, who's covering the corridor, will come on the comms and say, "This unit vaguely recalls that we were looking for gemstones."
Wasn't
What's the
code
project
name
called?
The
Gem-
project was called
coding gemstone?
Gemstone.
But
Wasn't
this
there
is
those
multiple. I thought it was singular.
done? You remember those sheath things we found upstairs? Did they match the sort of crystals? Wasn't there like crystal?
There was a ruby one and an emerald one.
Do they remotely represent any of these crystalline structures?
The gemstones you see in the walls do have a reddish, reddy orange tinge to them, more red than orange, whereas the sheath was very obviously a red ruby sheen.
Like a decorative
But,
gemstone,
You know,
rather than...
yeah, it's not a far stretch of the
Do
imagination.
the
but it's up to-
gemstones look manufactured or do they look formed?
They look formed. They look natural.
But seeing as the thing we were looking for was singular gemstone rather than multiple, and you've seen some, Larry's seen some, I've seen, like, we've got some here. I think there might be something a bit more significant.
Project
Background ones?
Project Gemstone could be pluralized. It might just be referring to the application of the use of the gemstones.
Move your
in
hand and
conjunction. It could just be the use of the gemstones with the subject that was in the
Rather
chamber
than the
upstairs.
gemstones themselves, yeah. Alright, let's keep on moving then.
I mean, if the subject is able to manipulate nanites the way that we think they are able to, it would make sense to expose him to these gemstones to see what he could do with them.
And we're also highly at risk considering that the entity seems to be able to pull nanites from human bodies. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pull nanites from gemstones or the surrounding area, and we would be seriously screwed.
Well, I'm largely convinced that if we end up in a conflict with him, there is no way we're surviving it.
Oh god,
Um,
I was always under the impression that nanites were artificially created. Jean, like anyone, like that any of you have any knowledge or anything to say otherwise?
nope. This
This looks natural.
new. This is new.
No, the gems look natural. You can grow gemstones there. It's easy enough to grow crystals.
Yeah, but
Gems.
if they're growing the
Think they-
crystals holding
Some
nanite, they
nanite.
must have had to find the nanite in the crystal to think about growing.
Not
Did the
necessarily.
nanite come first, or did the egg?
Definitely the chicken with a bazooka.
Who saw that coming?
Nanites just grow in the rocks, and you're saying nanites might be natural?
I don't think the nanites are natural.
They artificially... But, I mean, they were doing some experiments or whatever they were doing to those chasers upstairs. Like, looks like they're messing around with technology and people anyway. Like, is that
How-
just not more of the same?
How hard is the gemstone?
Hey, do you touch it?
Yeah,
Can you give me a mind
Right,
save,
Unite
please?
Glasgow.
with a gloved hand. A mind save.
Yep.
Great.
Start rummaging through my bag
Step back.
and turn around to Larry and be like, I wonder how difficult it would be to pry one of those off, and I hand him the crowbar out of my bag.
15.
Don't do this to me.
15. As you touch it, you have a brief flash of a family
See how, I'll see how
sat
this pans
by
out first.
sat by a park in District 5. The mother and father are there, and one of their kids is on a makeshift tyre swing near an old abandoned building, and they've tied the rope to a beam in the building, and they're just pushing them. So it's a very snapshot family scene, but nothing other than that. Literally, as you touch it, you just get that snapshot in your mind, and it fades.
think
I kind of reel back a little bit, and I look around.
Alright.
Yeah, that was those nanites are not. I don't think these nanites are natural.
What did you say? You looked like you glazed over for a second there.
It was like a flash of someone else's memory from District 5.
Taken out of somebody and put here.
This ain't right.
Do we know any history of
Tire
mass scale
swing.
disappearances or kidnappings or anything like
What,
that?
District 5, yeah?
minute by minute occurrence.
Hey, look, there's another one.
There's a good chance,
Man
Larry.
just goes off into the
Yeah.
distance.
Nothing that is, Miss Marple.
Not like there's on the media like another disappearance, like crazy nanite cult to blame. Or anything like that.
Nothing.
Maybe in
No.
District 1 or 2, but nothing in District 5. I mean,
There's no one to care,
who
was there?
cares?
Yeah.
I'm still holding the crowbar out to Larry.
I've
I've worked
just seen
out what
Sean
kind of
touch it
hacker
and look
you are.
confused, so I'm not immediately jumping on that bait.
I look sad and put the crowbar away.
You had your gloves on as well, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it is possible that if the nanites are transmitting, then it's simply a case of the physical contact allowed my own nanites to pick up what they were signaling.
So have they been harvesting nanites from people, or are these the nanites of the kid they've been testing on, or has the memories of the kids been testing on passed on to these nanites?
The
I've
father
gone to-
was not Ryan. In the
Okay.
I'll
first
go.
option.
I'll go and.
Could
Thank
be
you.
other
I'll go
kids
and.
testing on them.
I'll go and touch another one of them.
Okay, as you read, give me a mind save.
9.
9.
God.
That's less helpful. You get that memory snapshot, but your senses react as if you're there, and you're in the middle of a mugging, and you're the mugger, and you're basically stood in front of this person that they've got a almost plain face, as if as the mugger you care not to remember such features. You're just merely concentrating on getting their one longs off them to get your next fix. What that fix is you don't know, but you do feel that almost addictive spike running through your being as you are stood there with a 21st century pistol, threatening to take everything off them. They hand over the one longs and you fire, and then you're back in the room.
Pearls land on the floor, and in 20 years' time, a vigilante is born.
Yeah.
I drop my torch. I drop my torch as I kind of stagger away from this one.
You right?
Yeah, it was a different memory. A much more troubling one.
All right, don't touch anymore.
Touch them all.
It means they're from different people.
Wonder what happened. I'll talk to Philip. Wonder what happened if he touches two at the same time.
John. What happens if you touch 2 at the same time?
Right, you catch your breath here. I'm gonna head forward.
His head just explodes.
All right.
So you go looking for Alex. He's not far.
Yeah.
We just sat like 40 yards away, just watching Jean poke crystals and have a bit of a breakdown and do it again.
You're not 40
That was my
yards,
pocket.
you're 40 feet. If you were 40 yards, that's 120 feet in the dark. So you'd be seeing nothing. So it's up to you.
Got to talk.
I'll pick my torch up.
No. Ewan goes looking for Alex.
Hey, so don't touch the crystals if you see any.
This unit doesn't have any intent on touching any crystals.
Yeah,
Alex is just sat in the corridor licking it.
Like a battery.
Heidi, you
Yep.
remember in the in one of the labs we found some stuff that was pumping into
You found the canisters, yeah?
the canisters in the pump. Those canisters.
Larry's got one on him. Is there a similarity to them?
Well, I'm actually. I guess is there any? Was there any similarity to the coloration in the canisters and the coloration of the stuff we found in the canisters?
The nanites in the canisters are loads closer to what you're used to working with through your trade and such. You see them in a more natural environment. You see how vibrant they are, how they move. It's just so familiar to you when you're referring to nanites as the canisters. Referring to this just feels rawer. There you go. Less streamlined, a bit more
Unfiltered.
a bit more unfiltered and ruggish.
Rough cut.
Yeah,
Bit Yorkshire.
bit Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. And before you delve into this honeycomb of gemstones and nanites, we're going to call a break because it's 9:30. So, I can only apologise for Twitch. It seems to be having a bit of a wobbly tonight. I've checked everything my end and it's happy with frames and such. So I'm hoping Twitch settles down a bit and it's not just New Year jitters. But thank you very much for watching so far. Stick around with us. We're going to be gone about 10-15 minutes while we grab a brew and probably pop off to the loo. And yeah, we'll see you shortly. So stick around. Stick around.
In a bit.
Do
Hello! There we go. How forced the players into reacting. So, welcome back to part 2 of session 21. We're playing Carbon 2185. It's a cyberpunk game based on the 5th edition rule set, written or twisted by Robert of Dragon Turtle Games. So, we are currently playing our cyberpunk Carbon 2185 campaign. And this lot are on Olympus Mons, the largest mountain dormant volcano on Mars, deep, about a mile down, give or take, beneath the surface. And they've currently wandered into a almost honeycombed area of the mountain. And within some of the offshoots, they have discovered some reddish/orange gemstones that have nanites alive and writhing within them.
Just an update. Twitch just gave me the points thing, so I think it's working better now.
That is good to hear.
At least for me, anyway.
So, you've gone and told Alex there's some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Alex has informed you he has no interest in touching the weird shit and puts the one he's been licking down.
Yeah, so I suggest we just kind of push forward while Sean's further back, so we can have a little bit of stealth.
This unit agrees.
Yeah.
As
we-
Sean shouts down the corridor, "Wait up!"
I'm coming.
Well, didn't he just have to do a mind save? Shouldn't he? He's a bit unsteady on his feet.
I am going to try and take it. I'm going to try and take a sample on these gems.
How? Tell me how, my good friend.
I'm going to try and.
You handed a crowbar to the wrong person, Philip.
I glance over my shoulder at Philip with his crowbar. I'll be like, "Can I just borrow that?"
200,
It's social
250 feet away. Yeah, I'll sort of overcomms, be like, "What was that? I hear you doing this." I'm assuming you want a crowbar, and I'll walk up to the crowbar.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my my wonderful repair ability with my nanotech, my own nanites, to craft a small container.
I'm walking away.
So I'm going to basically repair one of the bits of scrap metal I have into a box.
Wow. Okay. Look at you. Okay, so
and then
you're going to use the crowbar to try and delicately.
to try and yeah, but I'm not going to do it down. But I'm going to, like, rather than just go in and try and lever it out, I'm going to kind of like try and chip away at it and the rock around it.
Okay, give me a.
This can only end well.
You said badly, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
How badly is that grin?
As soon as you're doing it carefully, give me a dexterity check.
It's 19.
19. You do exactly that. You use your nanites to manipulate the bit of scrap metal. You do indeed create yourself a small container. Using the crowbar and just chipping away. The rock is softer than you first expected. Not sponge-like, just almost hard clay.
Yeah.
But it comes away. What you notice quite quickly is the gemstone sort of falls away as you chip away, and then hangs as a very thin cable is running from the back of it and runs away into the rock. And at where the socket meets, you can see almost a vein of wiring going into the back of the like reddish ambery gemstone. It just sort of sits hanging there.
Wow. I'll take some pictures of that. Does it look like the? Is it like tubing or is it wiring?
Give me a medicine check.
18.
The design of it looks like, quite impressively, a miniaturized life pod. So by the materials used, i.e. the gemstone and the delicate wiring in the back, it does look like, instead of having a almost digital shield in front of them that is able to hold a liquid that you've seen used to help regeneration purposes, it just looks like a miniaturized life pod, and the pod itself is a stone or a gemstone, or at least in look. And now that you see it hanging, it is full of liquid, and you only just notice that slight shift because of the drop when you broke it away from the wall. Can Alex and Ewan give me a perception check, please?
Soylent Green is made of people.
Or is people made of rock? Scream for I do not know.
Or is Captain America here? What?
18.
18? Ewan?
Sorry, I was distracted by Twitter. What was it again?
Perception check.
I apologise.
Cannot
Concentrate.
Get the staff.
This is not how we did it in rehearsal, alright?
I was looking at the table you sent. It's your fault.
Not what the script says.
Went off book. 17.
17 and 18, okay. Ahead down the tunnels, as you can now see, not only do they offshoot from the main wider tunnel that you're on, that ahead of you, you can actually see that they start to spread out to the pathways, as if you're going into a more deeper, complicated tunneling system. And you hear a akin to insect wings, but not quite.
That doesn't sound good.
It does sound distant.
This unit agrees. Something has changed, or this thing that is coming towards us is sentry.
Do we move ahead and just trying to listen down each of the corridors, see which one the noise is coming from?
Yes, but also move slightly into each of the indents as we go, so that we have some form of cover.
Yeah.
And I'll relay back to the others that there's noise ahead.
I'll ask if it just started.
This noise has only just been heard.
It's slightly out of time into what you've just done, John.
Okay,
Yeah, just for clarity.
thanks.
Ping.
413X. How much further forward are you from where you left John? Because me and Larry are now with John.
This unit is roughly 60 foot away from you.
Okay.
And move up.
Yep.
as I said, taking cover in the side corridors, but to
How
cover
far
the
do you
main
move
corridor.
up?
We'll go branch by branch, so when there's an offshoot corridor, that person will get duck into it, and then the other one will move up and then cover to the next offshoot corridor.
So,
I stay on the left, you on the right.
so
So
how far
it's-
away
it's
from
your-
John are you now?
Your mechanics. I don't know if they're moving with us or if they're not.
I'm not currently moving.
They're not currently moving, and you're currently moving forwards. Regardless of the tunnelling system, you'd still have movement that you've used. So you're currently 60, or you were 60. How further forward, keeping cover, did you move?
Depends on
another-
where the offshoots are. Each of the offshoots like 10 feet apart, or
Some are 5 feet from you, some are 2 feet from you, some are above you. They're everywhere. You are walking through a honeycomb of these tunnelling systems. It would.
I would guess we'd probably get to at least
time.
another 30 foot away from the party, which is a movement. If they still haven't moved, then we'd get another 30 foot away, because as far as we're concerned, they're following us.
So you're
They're
not.
following
You're
us.
not. You're
They
not.
haven't communicated it to us.
You're not doing anything to be slow or be quicker. You're just normal pace, yeah.
yeah, but still.
Same stealth.
You still.
but yeah.
You still have your cover and such.
I'll pass a message down to say just don't go too far. I found something worth investigating.
We have already moved further 30 foot down the corridor.
We've also found something worth investigating. That may kill us.
What
Is
you
it
do.
armed?
What you do know without a perception check, Alex and Ewan, is you can hear the humming noise, and it sounds. It sounds from several of the tunnels. Give me intelligence checks.
18.
18,
21.
21. So normally it would, to the untrained mind, it would sound like multiple sources from multiple tunnels. But you two are switched on enough to know that wherever the humming noise is coming from is a open space, and the noise is reverberating through the tunnels.
So there's a big open space somewhere with something.
In it.
Yeah.
It is hard to tell on distance because of the environment you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. This unit will hold here, and we will cover the main corridor, but we are 90 feet away from you. Please do not dilly-dally.
Understood. Is there checking the back of this thing, which I'm not gonna touch it, but I'm gonna try and look at the back of this gem to see whether or not there's a connection.
The connection is there, like I say, exactly like Jean's worked with, as a life pod would be constructed. It is just a miniaturized version of a life pod, so you can see where the main source of power would go in, and you can see the offshoots that would provide different elements of keeping one alive, or regenerative purposes, or any medicinal works needed for using these pods. You can see. Go on.
Is it powered?
It does look powered, yes.
Right. In which case, I'm not gonna disconnect it. I'm gonna try and. Does it look like I could put it back?
Well, not perfectly, but you could probably situate it, on a bit of a lip of some of the rock you chipped away, but it wouldn't like plug socket back in.
Taking a deep breath, I'll kind of.
Was this one of the ones you touched before?
Yes, it'll be
cool.
the first one. I'll have done it to the first one.
Cool. You
I will.
do not
grab it.
feel the presence like you did with the mugging, but you do see the same memory again.
Okay.
And you managed to just place it. It's kind of just resting now, but you're confident that it wouldn't fall.
Cool.
And Philip
Cool.
and Larry, you see Jean seems to be messing around with some sort of cable gemstone.
I'll
Right.
observe at distance.
I'll take a couple of pictures of what I saw just with my hood, and I'll send them around the chat, and I'll just sort of explain to folks over the chat and to Larry and Phil. This is some kind of.
I'm not on the network. I can't see them.
No, but you are right in front of me. So I will say.
Show him the pictures like, look!
Like it's some kind
Print
of.
them out.
It looks like some kind of life preserve machine for the nanites. I would guess that every one of these gems is a preserved set of nanites for an individual. why they've been preserved like this, I have no idea. But
Do you think they were people, like they put people here and that's the result, or do you think they took Nanites out of people and put them here?
Harvesting.
I don't know why you would
Yep.
do that.
Well, we found that cupboard upstairs just rammed full of bodies, right? Like, we haven't come across anywhere where there's this many. How many of these crystals is there in this corridor?
If you were to look around, quite a lot of the offshoots seem to have these glittering
We're
gemstones.
talking tens, 20s, hundreds.
Hundreds easy from your immediate
Okay.
vicinity.
I mean, there's hundreds here, right? Like, if they were taking bodies, taking nanites out, and doing whatever it is, they'd be. Have you guys seen anywhere they could be able to?
They
get
wouldn't
rid of
necessarily need to take the bodies. They'd just be able to take. You could extract the nanites from an individual, but once an individual dies, the nanites usually shut down.
Not if you were. In case.
So the subjects would almost certainly be live at the point at which the nanites were taken. I don't really understand how a memory fragment would be retained from nanites that were extracted from a body in this way.
Goddamn door upstairs that ripped my nanites out. It's not exactly a fun experience.
Well, yeah, then this facility was clearly doing a lot of experimentation to do with nanites, and these.
Do you think people were brought here and extracted, or they just went around harvesting them and bringing them here? Or...
No idea. Not without maybe spending some time reading those files upstairs.
Not okay. Do you think these people are conscious? Are they just stored memories?
It is possible. It is possible.
Like a computer, like a video?
Yeah, this could be some form of computer. These could be linked to something or someone may be able to link to them to sift the memories.
Is it like when you take a photo on a camera and like, you know, the photo isn't the original thing anymore? Are these just a copy of...
I don't know. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never heard of nanites being preserved this way before.
That's still people.
It's not what they're used for.
Seems pretty wrong to leave them here if it's still a person, you know?
I wouldn't want to disturb them. At the moment, those gems are getting power, and whatever they are, they seem to be preserving those nanites and
Powering down the facility.
they've got power.
Or are they
I don't know
giving
where they're
power?
getting it from.
Wasn't that
They-
generator turned off we getting past?
Yes. So I don't know where they're getting the power from.
You sure they're getting power and they're not the power?
AD? I can't freewheel that one.
Give me a technology roll.
Flat tech.
Yep.
Should roll 10.
10.
Yeah.
You're unsure. It doesn't at first, when you first investigated, the wiring definitely went into the rock. But beyond that, you're unsure. I mean, it's not, too big a stretch, but self-powering items and such, and technology you've seen before, but you're just unsure in this situation.
I say I can't. Well, I can't be sure, Larry, but I mean, it looks like they were receiving power.
We push up and deal with this after, or
Yeah. Well, I don't know that there's much we can do. Certainly not with just 5 of us. There's hundreds of these things. We could try and find the power source. If they're linked to some computer, we might be able to find out. But we should definitely press on and join the others, particularly if they've found something else.
all right.
So you push up to Ewan and Alex, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Moments pass. As you approach Alex and Ewan, you three can also hear the...
Is it steady or is it a?
It's a humming / buzzing noise.
But does it have a steady rhythm or is it like staccato and different?
Different.
Okay.
As
So
if-
right, okay.
As if moving. You are all together now. All together now.
All together.
And we've just been banned from Twitch.
Goals.
I'll look at Alex and Yun. Shall we continue on?
You staying back a minute so we can still forward and scope out, or are you gonna try and hug us again?
I'll hang back a little bit. I just to reiterate, I think if we find something, we should try and talk to it, unless it attacks us straight away. But even then, I think we should try and talk.
Let's be able to suss out the situation before we do either, to be honest. So if we move forward, see what's there, we can work out if it's hostile. If it's not, if it doesn't seem hostile, then you can talk. If it's not, we will form a plan. How's that?
Vague.
Yeah, what's your definition of hostile?
Well, if it looks like it's gonna, if it looks like it's gonna hit someone, because we did hear a whimpering person, or it looks like it's a bit ragey.
Where I grew up, everything looked like it was going to hit you.
So would you go up and talk to it, or would you prepare to be hit?
Yes.
Why not both?
I'm prepared to take a hit.
I've seen you take a hit. I won't be that prepared.
Well, we'll go forward.
Which one of us ended up on the floor again? Remind me.
All right, 90 spoons.
All right, Alex, shall we move forward?
This unit will move forward.
Yeah.
Cool. As you are moving forward, trying to steer to the what appears to be the main path through this honeycomb of through the mountain, it starts to slope, or at least feel as though you are heading downwards. A very slow gradient. It's not an immediate drop or anything. The noise is getting louder. At first, Philip, Larry, and Jean do get that feeling of, oh shit, it's multiple tunnels, but they soon fall into the, okay, we understand. There's a larger area, and science is involved.
Reverberation.
There you go. Are you two doing your pepper pot ahead? And how far ahead are you doing it?
Like every 10 feet, I think, or like every.
How far are you from the party?
I'm going to stay within 30 foot of them.
Yeah.
So you're 30 foot from the
30
party,
foot.
and how far are you within each other?
I'd drop 30 feet back.
5 to 10 feet. Again,
Cool,
it's
cool.
wherever
So you're,
the
you're
branching.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Yep. So I'm not going to go. There's a branching 90 feet ahead of you, and you go, cool, 90 feet ahead. So you move your way through. Your Your experience of military, Alex. 40 years of being alone out in the wilds, doing what you do best, doing what you designed for, programmed for, trained for, however you determine you gained your skill set. You're getting that feeling that you are in the thick of it, that there is an element of enemies all around, and your focus is pretty much bang on anyway most of the time, but you feel almost nostalgic as you are, if Alex can feel such a thing, but you are in that sort of zone as you are moving forward, and even yourself, as focused as you are, when you look back, there is almost a, again, Alex can interpret it how they see fit. You see Ewan and Larry and Philip and John as soldiers that you've been with on other missions, and your role has been to scout ahead for them, almost like a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
You see them in the kit that you were when you were in the jungle. You see them in the kit when they were in an urban environment, and it's almost a memory, a glitch. Again, interpret it how Alex sees fit, but you're also, mindful enough to know that it is Ewan and Philip and Larry and John, and you'll get it looked at later.
Yeah, it's like overlaying.
Yeah. Ewan, as you're ahead, the air feels thicker, like you're breathing in foggy air. You can see, Alex, clear as day, knowing where they are hiding, knowing where between yourselves, communicating that 5 to 10 feet of hiding in between the certain crevices and such. But it does feel thicker. But you do start to remember your first days smuggling, like simple things like just trying to get a small penknife from A to B just to test your sleight of hand. For some reason you just start thinking about that sort of, it's just as if you're having a brew by fire. Yeah, you get nostalgic and you're like, oh, and then you sort of shake it off, sort of look around and you can see the air feels normal again, less as normal as being a mile underground can feel, but and yeah, you're pottering along. Larry, Philip and John, you three every now and then feel as if you're on your own. You do a quick check, just left, right, behind you, just to see, just to nod, just yeah, they are there, and then there's a brief moment again where you feel that, or you need to double check again to make sure people are there, and you're okay, they're there. Philip, you have a brief moment where you are just finishing your training. You've become not that kind of hacker. You've taken the uniform, and it's the first and last time you felt proud to wear the Crown Estate uniform. For over the next few days, the reasons that you hate the corporation known as the Crown Estate happened. Yep, and Philip can keep them to himself until he desires to share. But yes, you just have that brief nostalgic moment of that first time. Yes, I'm proud to wear this, and within 72 hours, that pride had gone, and you were looking for a way out. And I've just noticed I've had out to lunch on your thing the entire time.
He said it at the start in the chat.
Cool. I don't read
He
chat.
doesn't read chats.
I've got like 30
You even
notifications.
mentioned it before we started. You said
Oh, the
this-
snake Pliskin, but not the out to lunch.
no before we even started. You said, "Look, I've only looked at this overlay. I haven't looked at it since we last did it, and it has out to lunch because he had his eyeballs
Patch
super
on.
big done."
But then that were it then. I'd finished concentrating. Larry, you can't help but hold tight the photo.
Okay.
You don't like remembering it. You spent a lot of time and effort trying to forget that memory. But you've never ever been able to throw the photo away, and therefore the memory never leaves. But right now, you just feel it. You get like a stone lump in your throat, but you ain't shedding that shit in front of these four. And yeah, they've already seen you in a vulnerable state, you know what I mean? But
Once was one too many.
yeah. But you can't help but every now and then reach for the photo.
Okay.
This all happens over maybe about 3 to 5 minutes of pottering through these catacombs, this honeycombed whatever it may be within the mountain. Alex stops and puts his hand up as you were all used to, calling for that, like ease up. And as you're scanning ahead, Alex, can you give me a perception check, please?
$25.
25. You see the dip, and it's sort of almost like a skateboard ramp. Half pipe sort of just goes and then scoops and dips into an open area. The floor is natural. In the just slightly off center is like a almost jungle gym of red rock and like a real dark algae type fungus growing on this red rock. The cavernous area, you sort of like crouch and look through where the half pipe dips, and then by crouching you can see, like, so stood up, the rock in front of you blocks the view, but crouching down you can see that it actually opens into a very high, almost dome-esque cavern area with this, like I said, red rock jungle gym in the middle. Flying high ahead, flying high above, there you go, above your head, you immediately see 2 nanobot hives and you immediately know what they are. You've used them. The military have used them, and they are literally a swarm of nanobots. So not the nanites within someone's system, but a full-on tiny machines all swarming together. They were originally invented to get rid of landslides, landfill, recycling. They sort of like they come down and break stuff down to like a molecular level. But then the military got hold of them and like, these would be a fantastic weapon to use. And you see these two huge swarms of these nanobots in this cavernous dome. On the jungle gym, like almost in a bestial sort of crouch on top of the jungle gym, is what appears to be a young human. And they are very fitting of the description of Kane from the photos and such Stream was looking through. The clothing they are wearing though is simple. It's not of what you'd expect. I say what you'd expect. It's not what a medical facility or otherwise would probably. There's not medical robes or anything.
Yeah.
They're wearing casual
Yeah.
clothes. They've got, you see District 5 people in them all the time. A pair of tatty jeans, rough t-shirts, some shoes.
Tracksuit bottoms kind of style.
Yes,
and
yeah,
trainers
full
and
on,
that,
yeah. They're in cash, but they are barefoot, and they do look mucky. And they are sort of in like I said, they're in I say bestial, not in a feral style, but they're in a crouch sort of, almost,
Poised, ready.
not ready but poised. So they're sort of moving on the jungle gym as if they're just enjoying the moment. Their eyes are closed. Even from this distance, you can see that they're streaked with oil or some such. They are quite a distance, but with your tech that you're wearing over your face, you get a decent picture of them. They don't appear to be reacting to your presence. Bear in mind you are about 80 feet away. If you were to jump down the half pipe, the jungle gym's in the middle at about 80 feet away, and the up ahead.
Cool.
You see no sign of the hunter.
Okay. Across the comms, I'll go Scout 413X back to main team to Captain Jean. Target ahead on an apparatus. 2 nano swarms above. Target seems to be poised.
Copy 413X. Glad to hear you're still out there. We'll move up to assist. I'll head forward.
I've caught up to Alex because I was only just a bit behind him.
Do you point stuff out, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, as Alex is pointing out, again, you see there at this like Red Rock Jungle Gym, the child, the swarming nanobots. This is the first time you've seen them active, Ewan. You've helped smuggle them before, on Earth and on Mars, and you're used to them being very small, literally like flying piranhas. But to see them like actual and active is new to you. What you all do notice again is that the dome of this cavern is riddled with holes going up and away. There is actually a light source within the cavern, giving it a dim sort of lighting. Where the light source is coming from, you do not know, but it does appear to be up. And again, yourselves, Larry and such. Larry, you do not like nanobot hives. You've always been against their use in combat. You've got a bit that more honourable side to your marine life. But yeah, you do recognise them as nanobots and a nanobot hive.
As military use. Like, are they military?
There's no. They're already quite a very powerful. It's like someone
But I
throwing.
recognise how dangerous they are.
Yes, 100%. They were used to reduce garbage to a molecular level and then used on people. So you are aware they are very dangerous.
This is a weird question. Would Larry have an understanding of if they were to attack now, would we stand like a chance? Or is it something we could combat, or is it something that is like a absolute terrifying, this will kill us in a heartbeat sort of threat?
pretty much swinging at them. Give me an intelligence check, and depending on
Basically,
how
how
high you roll.
threatening would Larry assume they are on a 1 to 10?
Cool.
I also have a question
Go on.
about my
Take that.
knowledge. So wait.
I'll get
My
two seconds.
intelligence is a +0, so that's an 8.
An 8. You don't like them. You personally don't like them because you've like the one time you've encountered them personally where they attacked you and your unit. Your favoured weapon is to punch, and you couldn't do anything to them.
Excellent. That's what you love to hear.
Maybe the file I was given with the information. Sorry, Lauren, 1 second. Was the boy called Kane? Was that his actual name, or is that his code?
That was the code name.
Did Ryan tell me his son's name, and is that part of the information that Ryan gave me?
Joshua.
Abel.
Yeah, it's Abel.
Ooh.
It's Jesus. I can't remember if Ryan did tell you. Roll me a d10.
D10.
Yeah.
Go back about 6 videos. That's probably about when we had the conversation with Ryan.
8.
8. Give me a sec. John. There we go. You know his name to be Mason.
Mason.
Yep.
Did you deliberately name the father and son after an ex-Tottenham footballer?
Nope.
Because if so, impressive.
I'll go with yeah for the impression, but but no.
I mean, I'll catch up with 413X your name again. Sorry, Lauren, you wanted to something.
Yes, I had a question. So, relating to the nanobots, would I know how they would react to an EMP, given my dealings with them in the past?
You are aware that EMPs will slow them down but not turn them off.
Cool, thank you.
I assume we can all take this all in now, basically.
Yeah, you are all aware of the scene before you.
Cool. I'm going to lay down all my weapons next to 413X. Slowly.
Jesus Christ.
Carefully.
That's how we're playing this. Eggs meat basket.
Let me get to my other notes.
Have you got a separate binder for shit, John?
As Jean is putting that down, 413X will reach out
It's
and go,
picking them up and reloading them.
I don't believe this is a good move, Captain.
I'm just looking dumbstruck.
As Larry's entire life is pointing guns at the bad things, this is insanity.
I look at 413X and I look back at Larry and I just say, whatever happens,
I must go home to my people.
get the kid out of here, and don't let Crown have him. And then I'll finish laying down the weapons and walk out, hands wide, head towards the jungle gym.
As you step off the half pipe bit into the main area, there is obviously skittering of stone and such as you slide down to kind of ready yourself. Yeah. Immediately the nanobot swarm hives in the air, and they just sort of hang in the air looking at yourself. You are about 70 feet from the jungle gym. The nanobot hive is above them on either side. 2 secs. You can clearly see that the child on the jungle gym in that sort of poised state, sort of shifting from side to side, is Kane, or at least Mason that you know him to be. And he's about 70 feet from you. Larry, what's the action you're readying? Grenade launcher!
I'm going to attune, or I'm going to register the grenade launcher. I'm going to make sure the EMP is the one chambered.
Okay.
I've got an EMP
Last,
in my hand.
last session, I put 1 EMP in the barrel with all the frags.
Okay.
I imagine it's like a giant revolver, and I can spin the barrel to whatever.
Flick it out.
Feeling
Go
lucky,
left.
punk.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure there's no
Spent 19, I could
crown
spin that barrel, don't you worry.
Philip's going back to the generator room.
So,
Yeah, it's nice.
so you all are you all remaining at that lip whilst Jean walks down?
Yeah, I am.
And unless there's another offshoot a bit further along that I can stealth to.
There are offshoots, but you are unaware if they would make their way to that chamber without investigating further.
No, as in from where we are,
Yep.
is there an offshoot that I could make my way to along the wall of this chamber?
Yeah, there are several offshoots.
But you'd have to go down the slide, I think.
No. Right. Sorry. Oh, you mean? So, are you asking where you are, or if you go into the main chamber?
So
Right.
we're
where you
we're
are
at
right
the
now.
cusp of
Yep.
the main chamber. Is there a lip that we can walk round to get to some of the offshoots, or is it literally just all gravelled?
So from where you are now,
Backside.
so where you are now, looking straight forward. If you stood up, you'd be looking at a stone wall. Yep.
Okay.
If you crouch down, you can see under it, but what it does is it then changes levels, so it goes and dips down. Does that make sense?
Ah, right, yeah.
Yep.
Like final boss room, you can't jump out the back end of it.
You could probably make your way around there. You just don't know how to get there.
Yeah, okay. In which case, I'll lie flat and I'll take a firing position on Mason.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm in the doorway, right?
You're in the well until you move, yeah.
Can I? I'm gonna.
You'd have to lay
Come
down
into-
to get sight. Like again, stood up.
Oh.
There's a wall in front of you, and it's under.
I'm laid down kind of with my gun, but like one hand on an EMP so I can kind of chuck it out and then.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't get through if there's Pack and Alex jammed
Yeah,
in this
you could get through.
crawl space.
Yeah, it's widened out. in
Yeah,
this.
it widens out and down. It's just
You know, we had that description at
yeah,
the front.
it goes under rather than through. Yeah.
I'll just stand behind these two. I'll see what happens, but I'll stand ready behind Alex and Pack.
Okay, Philip.
I'm triple checking myself for crown iconography, removing it if there is any.
Sharpieing it out.
and yeah, I'll stay with these lot. I'll just sit on the floor,
Just chill.
looking under the rock. I'm like, this is
There's nothing for me to socially hack.
yeah, badly.
Just give Larry a crowbar. So, John, as you step down and approach, and clearly the nanobot hives are aware of your presence, and you. Kane / Mason just looks straight at you, and you can see as you're walking closer now that even though it's dim light, there is a clarity about this area around the makeshift red rock, whatever it is, structure. He's absolutely covered in a slick oil. He's barefoot. You can see his hands, you can see his feet, you can see his face, all covered in this slick oil. You have
The same oil that we saw outside.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
His hair is matted with it. It's normally got either like a blondish colouring to it, similar to his father, but right now it is matted with this sticky oil, and it gives it that greasy black, grey look to it. As you approach, you do see that he has got a bit of a feralness about him. But you get within 40 feet, and his shoulders slump, and he sits on the jungle gym, and he tilts his head as he's looking at you. And you don't see his lips move, but you do hear a voice. Uncle Jean? He's never called
shit.
you that.
I'll just say hello. I'll say out loud, "Hello, Mason."
As you say it out loud, he grabs his ears. He starts screeching in agony as if the noise itself is piercing. And he's just like, whisper, whisper. You just hear it in your mind over and over again.
I'll say more softly, but so that but actually also say it through the comms so the guys can hear me still. I am only just piecing together what has happened here, what has been done to you. Your father sent me to find you.
Two things. One, none of you are aware of this, but no comms have been passed. You think it's been sent, John. The other four, you no idea anything's trying to transmit. And two, he flinches, not horribly or anything, but there's a recognition of the word father, as if he can't match what father is, means, was, can be, etc. There's a confusion, and you can feel it. It's not a visual thing you see in his body reaction. You feel it, that he's confused about the word father and is struggling to comprehend that word, as if you've just gone blah 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 to him.
Okay.
Why? You hear this voice in your mind. Why does he not like his crown? And the Mason looks up to where your friends are hiding. He wears a crown.
He doesn't wish to be associated with them anymore. They used him.
Mason starts rocking. And
They
the nanobot hives sort of go and get a bit agitated.
They I think that Crown wants you, but I don't want to take you to Crown.
I don't like crowns. I don't like crowns. Then, John, what happens is very, very surreal. Mason starts acting out word for word, very energetically, the encounter you lost your arm in. Word for word, you feel more than hear the noises in your mind, and every voice and noise Mason makes, physically and telepathically, is perfect to the situation, the explosions, the failure of this, the firing of that, the pain, the people talking around you, the comms being used, the entire scenario is just played out word perfect. And then he sits really tightly bunched rocking on top of the jungle gym.
I'll sort of stagger under the kind of weight of those memories as I relive it. Probably bring a tear to my eye, to be fair. I think you can read those memories inside me.
Whispered stories. All of them.
Do you want to leave this place?
He sort of pauses and looks around the honeycombs. So many here. So many. Why? What is Who is the picture? And he reaches out in front of him and he's trying to touch something that's not there. She is pretty. And he has a real soft smile on his face.
A girl?
And he nods. And then he rocks back. So much blood.
It's the memory of another friend of mine, one of the others who is with me.
There's so many. And he pauses. And he looks incredibly confused. As if whatever's going on with these memories. And he shakes it. Pictures. So many pictures. Not stories. Lots and lots of pictures. Moving pictures. Like the shadows. Quiet. Tiptoe, tiptoe.
There's someone else here, I think, Mason, that's not with me and my friends.
No.
Who's looking for you?
2, 3, 4 tiptoes. One with number rocks. One who hides. One who is hiding. And one I can't see.
The one with number rocks is my friend. That is 413X.
413X. Sounds like Chase 527.
You know the chases.
Friends. Not friends. They are broken. They are broken, Uncle Gene. They can't be fixed.
I may be able to take you somewhere.
He moves further away, like up the back of the jungle gym area at the take him away comment.
Where we can help you.
Everybody helps me. They all want to help me. So
No, they want to use you.
he does this with his hand and his other hand, and you see that strange magnet to iron filaments sort of thing coming up from the red rock.
They want to use what you can do. They want to understand it. They want to turn it into a weapon.
His hands are in his head's in his hands, is shaking his head. Not blood. Not blood. Deeper.
I saw what you did to those people that were experimenting on me.
He looks up. They tried to hurt me, Uncle Gene.
I don't want to hurt you.
And then his mood changes. Do you like coffee? Jelly bean coffee? I do like coffee. I think I might get some coffee. And then he sits back down and crouches. I don't like coffee.
One of my friends does. If we help you, will you help us?
I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I want to dream. My dreams, Uncle Gene. My dreams. Nobody else's. And he stares at his hands again.
Sorry, I keep getting chat alerts from the Zoom of what these guys are chatting about in the
Oh, he's
Zoom.
not.
And I'm like, oh my god.
We're not planning or scheming.
What you can do with your nanites is beyond my knowledge. I don't know.
I can show you. And he sort of like stumbles forward eagerly. And he does this. And you and your EMP grenade just dissolves.
Ewan dissolves. Just turns inside out and vanishes Pac-Man
Ewan
style.
and your EMP grenades.
Do I dissolve
No,
the EMP?
that's the Yorkshire twang. Ewan.
Ewan dissolves. Wow.
No,
See,
no,
it's
no,
been too long since we played. That's why it was Ewan and your EMP grenade.
It's not Ewan. It's
It's
Pac.
you and
Pac-Man noise and Ewan just...
Ewan's EMP grenade.
Your EMP grenade
EMP grade.
just dissolves in your hand.
But
Not
he
in a
got
painful
Ewan
way.
right.
Not in a painful way, just in a almost liquefied way.
So I haven't been paying attention. It's kind of like we're kind of transfixed on like what's going on because we can't hear anything. It's just like, what the hell? And it's just like, what the fuck?
All you lot see is obviously Jean interacting. The kid do this. Just wave at Jean, and your EMP grenade dissolve or liquefy.
I think we might as well just go in because clearly he knows we're here, and he can liquefy things with his mind.
I'll walk towards him as he comes towards me. Just slowly, not again, sort of like hands very much sort of out, facing away from him.
Assuming you're not deceiving him, give me a persuasion check.
Not meant to see them.
16.
16?
I'm just gonna do this at him.
You were originally 40 feet. How close do you get? He is almost not moving, like at the speed he's walking towards you.
I'll only walk towards him slowly. I'll get to within about 15 foot of him.
Okay.
Not like striking distance.
As you are, what for him are you? As you are,
For me, yeah.
you're unarmed, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got nothing on me.
Cool. So you are 15 feet from him. Now you can see this boy's age is beyond what he should. You can see it all over him. There is his skin texture, the oily substance on it. It's not a pretty sight. But you do recognise behind that lostness in his eyes the boy known as Mason, Ryan's nipper. And he, for a moment, he looks as any young lad would greeting his uncle, ready to leap and be like, long time no see, hugs.
Yeah.
But then he stops, and the nanobot hives get really agitated, and they start flying around rather than just hovering above you.
Yeah. I'll
The tiptoes, Uncle Gene. The tiptoes. And the nanobot hives give me a reflex save,
Yawn is dissolved.
Mr. Jean.
me.
Yes. As both sets of nanobot hives explode in a dazzling
Sure.
light.
If only Ewan had that EMP grenade.
14.
14.
Like anyone's got them in the bloody grenade launcher or anything.
I can't see I'm behind you.
So as the two nanobot hive swarm entities explode, as a shock of lightning rips through them, blowing most of them up, others shorting and falling to the ground, they drop, and there's a final bit of a lightning charged explosion as it spreads out towards you and Mason. You unfortunately fail at your reflex save and take
Die immediately.
5
Really?
points of lightning damage. That could have been far
5
worse.
points.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a quarter of what you could have took. So
I'll take it.
you take 5 points. Oh shit! As does Mason, and you see the explosive lightning shriek across and just rush over you and Mason and the surrounding area. And as you sort of look up and the smoke and the lightning sparks settle and the smoke starts to swarm up into the air, you can see two entities that sort of pull a hood back. They're immediately like a shadowed silhouette as they step from the edge, and they pull their hoods back in a very strange, almost like they're pulling the scenery themselves, the environment themselves around them. Their hooded cloaks have taken on an almost perfect chameleon-esque form of the surrounding area. The two that are stood there are in very fitted, similar to what Philip's wearing, in that it's very fitted jet black with shades of midnight blue across it at the joints and such to give it a broken up effect. They have a full encased face mask on with a red ye old Robocop line across the front of it. Some might call it Kit. I might call one of them Knight Rider, that'd be amazing. They both have two melee weapons in their hands that you know to be mono-edged katanas. They both have a rifle on their back that would do well at long range, and they have a smattering of other contraptions. Some may be grenades, some may be other stuff upon their utility belts across their waist and across their chests, but they are completely enclosed in this black and nightshade blue kit. They look more athletic than they do tanky.
Any corporate logos?
Give me a perception check.
7.
Not that you can see.
He's a reroll, John.
Do any of us?
As
Do any of us lot up top see?
as
any
this
of that?
happens, you hear it. As this happens, 413X and Pack, you obviously see and taking your thingies. The explosion happens. You see Mason and Jean disappear in that explosion, and the smoke, as the smoke starts to billow away and settle, you see John just getting up from a prone position, Mason too getting up, and you see the two figures coming in from the left hand side, and that's where we're going to call the session.
Oh, you bastard.
That had a cliffhanger written all over it.
That had first round of combat, and then I'll end it.
Yeah. Roll initiative. End.
So, first session back of the year, kids. Thank you very much for those that persevered through Twitch and watching. We will be back next Thursday. Hopefully Thursdays will be less cursed this year than last year, and we shall crack on with session 22 and see who these
Get
two
butchered by two assassiny ninja dudes.
Robo Kippers. So thank you very much, Cyberpunks. I hope you enjoyed your first session back of 2021. It was a very different. It's not quite Bison's Babes, but we're definitely on a bit of an arc. So thank you very much, players. Thank you very much for those that are viewing. We spiked a few. I think we hit 20 at one point. That's really cool to see on the Thursdays. Hopefully we'll get more and more with the beautiful lockdown. So thank you very much. Share if you like what you're seeing. Shout about us. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to do a cheeky plug. If you go to the UK Games Expo website, you will see Heavyweight Gaming on the front page. You will also see a lovely article that I may have chipped in the wording on. And we're looking this June to be at the UK Games Expo itself. So you'll be able to come along and talk to myself, if you so wish, and the rest of the team that we throw in, and we'll hopefully be dragging this lot to come and have a look. And do their. You might get to talk to the characters of the campaigns.
We could do a signing. We could do a
signing if you want to bring your carbon books. These lot will sign them for you. Any money you make off them, we want 20%. I'm just saying.
I could sign some copies.
Heavyweight gaming merch.
Heavyweight gaming merch.
I like the badge.
Oh, we do have pins for sale. I'll do another shout out for them.
Let's get the heavyweight gaming hoodies on the.
I need to buy one of those.
I do. I've got a T-shirt with heavyweight gaming on. We will have hoodies, etc., etc.
Oh wow!
I got mine.
Do you know when your hobbies get really out of hand real quick?
It's just me. I need some new clothes. I might as well get some with HWG. So
I've got a.
Go on. Right, we're going to sign off. Thank you very much for watching. We are about 10 minutes earlier than normal, but I wanted to hold it there and not get it disjointed. Tune in next week, same back channel. And go check out Dragon Turtle Games. 10% off your purchases if you put the code WAITE, WAITE, in purchase. 10% off. It's amazing. And you'll buy enough stuff that you'll want that 10% off. check out their Kickstarter they've just done, Terminal Overdrive. Great stuff, that's coming soon. They may or may not be still taking pledges, we can confirm at a later date. But also they've got a Solarpunk Kickstarter that's getting ready, and it should hopefully be this year. But go follow their Dragon Turtle Games Solarpunk on Facebook, and you can check that out. Basically, Solarpunk is the opposite of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's very dystopian. Solarpunk is very utopian, where everything's very nice. If you've ever seen Demolition Man, imagine that before Snipes turns up.
Very pretty. All the shells.
Free shells.
Oh, yeah, free shells. So, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. We're back streaming tomorrow for some good old-fashioned D&D Rime of the Frost Maiden, where our lovely Larry, aka Rob, will be dungeon mastering. So if you fancy a bit of that, come and see us tomorrow. Other than that, say goodbye, players.
Goodbye,
Bye,
players.
Have a beautiful time.
Time.